Welcome to the bold analysis. Today something very unusual happened in the National Assembly, and I want us to pay attention to that. Just days after Cleophas Malala, the UDA Secretary General, warned the members of the ruling party that they risk punishment, or rather disciplinary action from the party when they continue contradicting or opposing the government's position. Today, more than 60 members across the political divide, with members coming from the Kenya Kwanza side, staged a walkout from the National Assembly. And they heckled, that was after they heckled Kimani Ichun'gwa, because Kimani Ichun'gwa could not explain to the MPs why the CDF money cannot reflect or had not reflected in the accounts, despite the fact that the schools will be opening in January. And on a light note, the kind of zeal and energy MPs are using in pushing for the CDF bursary funds, if that can be put in pushing government to lower the cost of living, I don't think the country would be complaining. So I want to tell you in this podcast the hide and seek games between Treasury and the MPs, so that we make a political interpretation why UDA leaders are now emboldened and now they're telling Ruto enough is enough. But before we even get deep into that, I want to still remind you of this project we are doing. Austin here suffered a stroke and had been in hospital for long, I think more than 3 years. Came out of the hospital, and even though he cannot still work, but he has a family, children, and a wife, and all that. So we reached out, story was shared to me, and we reached out, and what we decided to do is that to establish a portion meal for him, because that is something he had already been doing before, but it will not work. So that's why we are doing a 100 shillings challenge here, and I'm kindly requesting you. I know it's going slow. I wanted to end this fundraiser today, but that will not be possible because I will just want this to happen. So as of this evening, I'm doing 6 p.m. Is it 6:28? Yes, as of this evening, we are doing 21,374. So 20,000, the target was 80,000. So we are around 59, still shy of the target. So kindly let's push, and I want to believe that from tomorrow what I'll start buying what is needed so that the process will start. Now, Kimani Ichun'gwa was heckled. And this is a snippet of what transpired in the floor of House before the MP started walking out.
And I indicated to the Cabinet Secretary that by Thursday listen. As the leader of minority said, without anticipating debate. Without doing what? Without anticipating debate. Honorable Speaker, again without anticipating debate, members will note that the House Business Committee had slotted in a morning sitting on Thursday. And I indicated to the Cabinet Secretary that this House cannot proceed to go on recess on Thursday without clarity as to the exact date, time, when the money not will be disbursed will hit your NGCDF accounts at the constituency level. Lastly, Honorable Speaker, more important, Honorable Speaker, and I beg for members to listen. And it's easier to listen, Honorable Makilap, than shout from behind me. It is easier to lend me your ears and ask the Speaker. That is what happens in the August House. You don't shout from your seat. You request the Speaker to give you the mic, and you say what you want to say. More importantly, Honorable Speaker, the NGCDF CEO has indicated to me that and the chair of the NGCDF committee can confirm, we must act with equity.
Secretary, Honorable TJ Kajwang. I have not completed the sentence. Honorable members, honorable members, honorable minority leader, we were just trying to confirm when the cabinet secretary can be here. Consult with the leader of majority when the cabinet secretary can be here, because members are walking out before they hear the answer. What's your point of order, minority leader?
Now, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There is a bigger problem in our National Assembly. Last week, the National Assembly, I think it was on Wednesday, one of the days, if it was not Wednesday and Tuesday, that was 2 weeks ago, not last week, they could not hold a session because they didn't have quorum. MPs kept off the chambers. And the Speaker of the National Assembly went with Tangula and adjourned the session because it could not have the quorum. Today, I wanted to look at this video. This video here is of the Senate. Those seats are left empty. Now, the senators whom you elected to represent you and fight for the interest of the counties are keeping off the chambers. And there seems to be an internal sabotage. They are walking out. So it's not yet clear, because someone says that if you want to know the number of MPs in this country, is the day there is something, there is a very contentious bill going on, and money has been used against. And by the way, this was said by Chesa, and he was telling Raila that even opposition MPs have been bought. He was not lying. Yes, it's true. MPs across the political divide receive money in these corridors. But now, and even now the Senate one was adjourned today.
Having rang the bell pursuant to provisions of Standing Order 42, the Senate stands adjourned until tomorrow, Wednesday, 6th December 2023 at 9:30 a.m.
And that is what I was talking about. Now, to surprise of many, the corridors are saying that even Dede Nyoro and Osoro was part of the team that went against, that did not support Kimani Ichun'gwa's speech, even though they're part of the House. Remember, the sides were united. But you not expect the Osoro and Ndindi, because these are people that have been defending government. And it is very true that Kimani Ichun'gwa knows what exactly is going on, why the money has not been disbursed to the counties, to the constituencies. Because I think according to the law, I think it's supposed to be disbursed 40%. Now even that 40% has not been done. So it is not true, as Kimani Ichun'gwa is saying, that he needs to go and get the Treasury CS to come and explain himself. Because he sits and is the person that leads the parliamentary agenda of the ruling coalition, he knows why exactly that has not happened. But what has shocked many is that this is going on, and this has come just a few days after Cleophas Malala in Nakuru gave this warning to UDA members of parliament.
That headquarters will host various offices, and it will also host the UDA Leadership School. We have conceptualized an idea whereby we are going to have the UDA Leadership School. We want to start mentoring young leadership that will take over from the current UDA leadership. We want UDA party to be a party that is going to outlive the current leadership. So 100 years from now, wherever we shall be, Susan and myself, in our silent graves, we shall be smiling knowing that we left a strong party in the name of UDA. And therefore, that school, we are starting to develop the curriculum that is going to be used. And one of the prerequisites before we give you the UDA certificate is to take you through short courses. First, as an MCA, we'll be able to induct you so that you start understanding the doctrine that leads UDA, so that you understand the vision of UDA. As a member, it is important for you to understand what your party believes in. I have seen in the recent past members of UDA, and these I want to address with a lot of affirmation. I have seen in the recent past members of our party contradicting party positions, members of our party going against the directions of our party leader. I want to state here very categorically that moving forward as a party, we want our members to understand the doctrines of UDA. We want our members to understand the manifesto upon which we were elected on. You know very well, we were elected on the basis of economic revolution. Our country at the moment is not doing very well economically because of our past mistakes. And our leader, the President of the Republic of Kenya, is keen to ensure that we salvage our country from the dungeon of economic depression. He is putting so much in place. You've seen he's introducing so many programs to ensure that we salvage our country from economic depression. And we have our members who do not understand that, going in public, opposing government position. So moving forward, we are going to institute internal mechanism to deal with such members. It's very unprofessional for you as a sitting member of parliament going to the public to oppose UDA position on certain matters.
So, let me tell you. So interestingly, this is what is going on. Do you know that the Treasury CS and a number of CS went to COP28 last week? Now there is a delegation, another delegation that went with the president in India, and I've seen a deal of SGR extension after I think China refused or failed. They were heading to India to seek to get partners to extend that SGR to the other side. So that is why they were heading there. And MPs are feeling that William Ruto is hiding some of these members of the cabinet, or deliberately, these members of the cabinet are flying out of the country, and the strategy is to make sure they come after Thursday, because the parliament is supposed to go to recess from Thursday, and that will take the longer period until I think the late January or early February, when they will resume the parliamentary sessions. So there are two things that the government team wants to avoid. Number one is to help or to ensure that the cabinet members that, because there have been a lot of contentions going on, do not appear in the assembly. Number two, the MPs to go to recess before it. Remember, they cannot call another session. They cannot protest outside here. They can only protest within the parliamentary chambers. So that is something that really people have been largely talking about it. So I want to explain, why is the parliamentary wing of UDA crumbling? Because that is the question. It is not just this. I think it's not new that Kimani Ichun'gwa is being heckled, because quite a number of MPs have gone out and have said this is wrong. They've been boldened and they think this is wrong. And so when I listen to Malala saying that they need to open a school of leadership so that they can train UDA leaders and how to understand the party ideologies and all that, what this country needs, or not that we don't have school, we have universities and colleges that are teaching leadership as people. You can even go and do masters in leadership. So it's not a problem of training. The problem here is politicians have to weigh, where are the people? You must go with the people. You know, you cannot go with the president. You must go with the people because at the end of the day, you are elected by the people. So there seems to be something going on there. So I want to explain in details in this other side of this part of this analysis, why the UDA parliamentary wing is crumbling. Before I do that, I want to humbly request you to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell and like our videos. And I'm still reminding you about this boy here, Austin from Busia, the other side of Busia. He had got a stroke, so was bedridden for long, more than 3 years. He's been out and have not been able to find a way of fending for himself, getting something for himself and the family. So I decided that we can do a short one for him. Just needed a posho mill, which we're in the process. Just make sure you get it set up and established and it works. So from tomorrow, we're going to start putting up things together. We have a deficit of around 59,000, I think, so far. And we believe that the more we help, this will count. Now, there are four reasons. There are 4 reasons why UD parliamentary wing is falling. And number 1 is use of money as a tool of influence. Listen to Echesa. What Echesa told Raila in Kakamega, I think.
Hata wiki haijaisha. Tumewaona kwa TV wakisema tutakuwa na mheshimiwa rais anasema amesema. Na wakapewa milioni moja. Mbona yeye anakuja kusema hapa? So, Baba, I want to tell you today, if these are the kind of leaders you will go with them in 2027, hawa mtapeni hawa, I want to show you Baba mbele mambo itaharibika. Kwa hivyo Baba, mimi nataka nikwambie, iko wachezaji wazuri hapa ndani, tafuta wachezaji wazuri. Hawa kwa nao na matapeli wanakutumia tu kupata certificate na kupata vitu zao, alafu wanaenda kufanya uchokozi wa siasa. Na hiyo ndio siasa sisi tumekataa.
He was not wrong. He was not wrong. Echesa was saying the truth. That money has been used to, according to me, to brainwash MPs. And I don't know why they're even shouting and doing shouting matches, because the day they needed to do shouting matches is the day William Ruto was appearing for the State of the Nation address. And they knew very well that the speech was flat. Is the day they went to Parliament, and instead of voting to strike out some parts, and even debating and striking out some parts of finance bill, they bought the narrative from the executive that we are going to things, they bought the story from the executive that we need to collect more taxes so that we can meet our revenue, we can meet our expenditure obligations. And one of them is this. So you agreed for Kenyans to be taxed to the last shilling so that you will receive it. Now you've not received that money. The problem here is that even the executive knows very well that they will yell, they will yap, they can say all those many things. But these are people, if I just send them, if I give them some small money here and there, they will not complain again. So it is about that money. The money has been used in parliamentary committees when, you've been seeing those screenshots, these stories about the chairman of parliamentary committees maybe supporting some people behind the scene. So they have allowed it. And because money has been used as a tool of influence, Ruto knows at the end of the day, there is nothing they can do, So that is the first challenge. And that is why it was used as a contingency to make sure that things go on, that we get our way. But we planted money in Parliament, and now that is haunting us back. Number 3, the reason why the UDA parliamentary wing cannot hold firm into government is because of fallout with the voters. You know, even as an MP, and Ichun'gwa said it there, even though he has said it and doesn't mean it though. But I know as a politician, apart from being a UDA member of parliament, you're a politician. And a politician would always want to think about how about I'm going to win the next election. So they know very well that between bursary allocation and defending William Ruto, which one will make me endear to the people? Bursary allocation. And the bursary allocation, they've known very well that as much as you want to defend and stand firm with the UDA ideology, or you want to idolize the UDA ideology, if it doesn't serve the interest of your constituents, then you also stand to lose. Remember, even at your constituency, politically, you have opponents that are taking advantage of the situation that you are aligning with the ruling coalition, you are timid, you cannot tell off what is going on, and that then they're uprooting you from the grassroots. And that's why leaders like Kimani, leaders like Wamushomba, they might be seen as rebels. But if you look at how they are really deep, you understand. I've seen a soundbite of Keter. Can you listen to what Keter, these residents were telling Keter? This somewhere in the valley.
Achile, wangapi wanasema niendelee kuuliza mambo ya serikali? Wajame kumnyewe? Waja tuseme kwa Kiswahili ndio kila mtu asikie. Nyinyi mnataka nitangaze niseme serikali ni mzuri ama niseme serikali imeshindwa na kazi? Niseme wameweza ama wameshindwa? Wangapi wanasema wameshindwa na serikali, wameshindwa na kazi, wameshindwa na kazi? Anane.
So that's what I was saying. Uprooting you. Number 3. There have been a lot of deal making and betrayals. Because what has affected Kenya Kwanza, and I think UDA, I don't think there is nothing, Ruto doesn't believe on that Kenya Kwanza agenda. He believes that is UDA. What has affected UDA largely is the fact that after the election, people got into different positions. So MPs, got parliamentary positions, that. Then there is a clique of politicians that failed and got to the cabinet, clique of politicians that go to some plum state positions. So what's happening here is all these are a situation where how much can I grab? So there have been a push and pull, and you will realize that the lethal fight, even between some members of parliament and members of the executive, is about deals. And if you think I'm just making a guess, you can find what Cherorgei is telling Murkomen. Number 3 is the cash crunch. There is a possibility that William Ruto economy, contrary to the public statement that I have destabilized the economy, things are going to be good, I think our economy is at ICU to some extent. There is a high possibility that, because, let me tell you, the junior JSS teachers are supposed to be confirmed in still a contention. It's not yet there. We are doing some privatization to collect money, allegedly because we meet our tax obligations, we meet our revenue obligations, our revenue targets. Now there is this money that is supposed to be disbursed. Now bursary, it cannot be disbursed because this can all be avoided. If it was supposed to be done, then why has it not been? So we tend to, this is a high possibility, even though the embattled control of budget said that look, here is unapologetic about it, we are here because of our own making. So ladies and gentlemen, that's my take. Tell me, why do you think that UDA political parliamentary wing is actually falling? And I can make a political projection. They might not get many seats in the next election. In fact, just a very selfish opinion from myself. If MPs are given that money now, they're going to part with the CDF funds. We are getting to Christmas. So I support government with the whole of that money and disburse it the first week of December. of January. It will get used. But now, the MPs are so, people normally push their interest. They want to do deals here and there, do bursary constructions here and there. Let's wait and see. But I think the other advantage of giving money is that money will get into circulation. So more there is money in circulation, I think you can make Christmas be easier for the hustler. Thank you.